Right?
So-
Next someone's event. It's just. Yeah. No, I did. And then we just Andre share the story. I mean, it's definitely, okay, yes, I'm good with that. Okay. Good morning. Good morning. Big crowd. Thank you for coming this morning. Appreciate all of you who are here in person and those of you online. Right now we have everyone on Zoom muted because we found that if people don't mute their computers, then we end up with audio issues and then nobody online can hear. So if you do need to ask a question, please put it in the chat. And if there's something that you need to share, then please say that and then we can unmute you so you can speak and everybody else can hear you as well. So thanks so much for coming. There are agendas somewhere. They were on the back corner? Yes? Okay, so if somebody wanted to grab a hard copy of the agenda, feel free to grab one. Yes, ma'am. Yes. She's already done. And there's coffee and some breakfast in the back if you guys need a little something. It's been a while since we have gotten together and had a meeting. Our last meeting was in November, so we'll just do quick introductions up here and then get into the usual business before we have our speakers this morning. I'm Kelly Bridges, and I am the president of the Family Association this year, and I have an 11th grader here.
I'm Tiana Stewart. I'm the vice president. I have a 10th and a 7th grader. Just hearing that, it goes so fast.
I'm Margaret Cohen. I'm the treasurer this year, and I also have a 10th and 7th grader.
And then we have two folks missing this morning. Jill, our secretary, had a family emergency, and Zach, who's a little under the weather, is online there. I don't know if
He's on there.
Yeah, okay. So, and Zach is our volunteer coordinator. So we'll just get into our usual business first, and then we have Andre and Alicia this morning to talk about the family portal and the news and events section that's in there now. And then we'll also have James here giving us a school update and talking about a few changes in the calendar for next year. First, I'd really like to thank a few people because it's been so long. We've had a few things happen. I'd love to thank Michelle and Sabrina, who were our farmers market committee coordinators, who organized our annual farmers market back in November, just before Thanksgiving. We have Amanda, our staff appreciation coordinator, who organized our fall semester Stop the Lounge. And Rebecca, our winter formal coordinator, who organized that upper school dance just last month. Plus our class reps, some are here and continue to organize grade level activities to bring our families together. And I hope I haven't missed anyone. If I have, thank you. I want to jump into approving the minutes and getting on to what else is happening around the school real quick. So let's go ahead and get our November minutes approved. A link to the minutes was in the agenda that was attached in the email that went out. Don't know if you found that multi-step process there. And for those of you online, hopefully I think you should have the link in the chat right now. So if I could get a motion to approve our November 12th minutes. Thank you, Sally. And a second. Thank you. Lisa. And all in favor. Any opposed? No one opposed? All right, November minutes passed. Thank you. I'm going to hand off to Margaret for a quick budget report.
Yes, thank you. Our big budget news is that we held the winter formal, and again, thanks to Rebecca, who really carries the lion's share of the work for that. We did a very nice job this year with ticket sales. We had in planning for what we hoped to see in ticket sales. We had sort of thrown out a number of around 3,500, and we far surpassed that this year with almost $4,700 worth of ticket sales. So it was well attended, and that's great because that helps cover the cost of that event, which is rising slightly every year. It's for 2 years now, we've had it at the Tucson Country Club, so the venue is a little bit expensive, although we do get a good deal on decorations. Again, thanks to Rebecca and some connections she has. But we did spend a little bit more than last year, around 4,500 for venue, food, decorations, DJ, photo booth, all the things that one wants chat. But altogether, we are in pretty good shape because both of those kind of depend each other out. So good news on the informal front. And that's really our main, that was our main expenditure since we last talked. Some of the smaller things that you mentioned, like Stock Lounge, a lot of those were donations in kind or some money that we had sort of aside for that. So in general, we are right on track to continue our year.
Great, thank you. Let's get into a few things that are coming up, activities that we've got, a couple of fun events coming up. I think I'm gonna pass off to Zach, who's online right now, to talk about our next week's event. Can you unmute Zach?
Yeah, he should be able to unmute himself.
Oh, okay, now Zach, you have to unmute yourself. Are you there, Zach? All right, Zach, you're allowed.
He says, I'm not. This is not allowed. But I.
Oh, mute all again, but allow them. Now try it.
Oh, no.
Okay, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, so we are planning an all-parent coffee for the 19th at Teaspoon at River and Craycroft after drop-off. A casual buy-your-own breakfast, gathering in the outdoor patio.
Zach, I have to stop you for a second. You have a jet flying over it. And it's completely covering up what you're saying.
I don't believe you.
Okay,
Okay, so February 19th, we're planning an all-parent kind of gathering breakfast at Teaspoon after drop-off. Casual buy-your-own breakfast gathering in the outdoor patio. And it should be super fun. So tell all your friends.
okay, thank you.
Did everyone hear that?
Did you catch that? Next week, the 19th? All right, and you guys know Teaspoon up at River and Craycroft, it's on the northeast corner. All right.
It's good.
Yeah, and they have a nice outdoor space that can accommodate small and large groups.
Well, can I ask a question that's kind of related to that?
Sure.
So Zach sent out an email to the class reps asking us to send out a note to the parents, but by the way, we can't use the listserv.
Yes.
So 10th grade parents, there's only 10, 11, I think, including these two, that have added their information or allowed us to use their information in the phone directory. So how do you?
We need to have a little conversation about how we're using the listserv. The listserv is still okay for grade level events. I'm not sure how Alicia feels about this. It's not a specific grade level event. It is something that we're talking about here. It is something that we're gonna have in the newsletter. So some of those things are what Andre and Alicia are gonna be talking about, of course, what's in the news and events. But I think what we'll do is we'll put out an email to class reps to try and clarify exactly what you guys can use it for and what maybe shouldn't be used for or might get stopped, because those always get reviewed. So if there's anything that you feel you need to send, you can send it. And then if it gets stopped, then we'll hear about it and we'll know that maybe that's not an appropriate use of it. But at this point, this particular event, I think we're not going to be putting out an email simply because it's kind of one of those broad reminders that they'd rather see in the news and event section.
Yeah, but for like the end of year
And
class.
Absolutely,
Okay,
absolutely.
that
yes.
was clear for, I was.
Yes, no, it wasn't clear because we weren't clear until just last week ourselves. So I apologize for the delay in that information getting out to everyone else.
Thank you.
You bet. Any other questions? Okay, the next thing on our upcoming events list is the parent experience night. We did our first parent experience night in the fall. And we had a great response. So we've scheduled another one. Our next one is on March 25th. For those of you who have been around for a while, you'll probably remember that a few years back, TGS received a grant to expand Friday explorations. And a portion of that grant was earmarked for a parent exploration event. So this semester, we're partnering with admin and a faculty committee to kind of create a grander experience than we had last fall. And we're actually all really excited, I think. We're gonna have all sorts of arts, humanities, STEM, wellness sessions. It's all kind of echoes the exploration categories, but this is going to be a parent-only event. So we're currently working out the details. Put the date in your calendar. We're gonna be sending out a sign-up genius for people to sign up again, just like last semester. And it's gonna run from 6 to 8:30 p.m. And that's Wednesday, March 25th.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I think it sounds wonderful. There's a lot of different categories or, like different teachers who are excited, right, to do it as well, I think.
Yeah, it will be a whole menu of choices. I think we'll get that sign up genius sent out probably the first week of March. That's our plan. And Allison, did you want to say anything more?
Well, there's gonna be 2 sessions, right? So we'll start at 2 45-minute exploration sessions you can attend. And in the middle, we'll have a 45-minute like social dinner hour. So we're gonna cater, we're talking about maybe a dessert truck. It's gonna be a fun time. And there's a variety of sessions. So if you wanna make sushi, well, or if you want to
Play
pickleball, again, play pickleball, I mean, there's a variety, yeah, we're doing, if you wanna pick up an instrument, Dr. Blue's gonna be doing band instruments, and orchestra instruments, each session, so it's gonna be a lot of fun. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. So this kind of has to do with explorations a little bit. I do know that some of the parents are asking,
Okay, close that door, Sally.
I got it, asking,
Thank you.
they're been asking about if they're able to give feedback about explorations, given like what their kids are coming home and saying or whatnot. And I don't know if who I should direct them to, or what does that look like?
I'm gonna defer to Allison.
I would send any feedback to the division head, so Ms. Kane or myself.
Ms. Kate. Sounds good.
All right, and before we get to our speakers, we don't have other questions on that, right?
For parent experience night, is that going to be a little bit bigger than last time? Because I know that it filled up very quickly.
Yes.
So I just want to know whether I should be in my computer break or something.
Just like your kids. There are actually gonna be, I think we're gonna be looking at 8% people we can accommodate this time versus the 40-ish last time. So I think it'll more than double that.
And honest, last time, we were like, okay, we'll wait to sign up.
Yeah.
Because, and then we couldn't even sign up because we were like, boom, done. Yeah. So they'll be ready. Yeah.
But
Sorry, at the end of it, if you go back in, you'll notice that some people cancel, and then you can slip in. That's how I did it.
what we're gonna do this time, we're gonna have some sort of waiting list for folks who don't get into a session that they want. But they're also, because there are 2 sessions that evening, if you don't, some sessions will be repeated, first session and second session. Others will be slight variations, so they won't necessarily have the exact same session, first and second. But if you don't get into something first session, you can always sign up for a second session, because all of those are standalones. So there's nothing that once you sign up for session 1, you don't automatically go into a session 2. You'll have to select that as well.
So it's possible for someone to come in for the mingling and the second session,
Yeah.
but if the
Yeah.
preference.
Yep, absolutely. Any other questions about that? Okay. Let's go ahead and see if there's class reps or any committee coordinators here who have something to share about events that they've been involved in or are planning for.
For 11th grade, I've talked with Ben Smells
Okay.
about possibly doing a service event. The only problem is they charge $8 a person, and with 51 kids, it's $400.
Okay.
So we got $200 to spend. So that's an issue. So I also reached out to Casa de los Niños to see if they have some kind of service related event.
Okay, great.
That's cool.
So I don't know, I'm waiting to hear back from them. I know that once I was in a charity service organization and we did something around Easter.
Okay.
We helped out, like, organize gifts and stuff.
Ben's Bells is so awesome.
I know, I'm just trying to figure out how we can do it, and also they have a 40. They have a 40%.
Yeah, so we have a service grant that you can apply for. If you want to just email me, we could supplement the rest.
Nice.
Yes, thank you. Okay.
The
The other thing is that they have it during
Yeah,
the school
donation,
day.
it's a donation, it's a service, so we have other, like, if advisory wants to do service, they can apply for this grant.
That's
So it's, yes.
So the times that they have is they have 2 days, 2 times during the week, which would be on during school, and then they have one on Saturday. So I would assume that we would do it on a Saturday. It would be an option.
Do they have it on Friday?
I think it's Tuesday, Wednesday,
Just because
Saturday.
that's.
For an exploration.
Yeah.
I haven't asked, I haven't asked, and that's a great idea for an exploration. Let me just double check.
Okay.
I recently saw that Ben's Bells was revealing a mural they did at one of the public schools around here, and I don't know if that's something, I mean, if we would be interested in doing a mural about kindness here on campus, just throwing out an idea, and coordinating with Ben's Bells and the kids.
I think there's a whole program, like, you have to do self-service hours through them, I don't know, I remember doing some research about it when I was teaching in elementary school, but I haven't seen.
Yeah, I have no idea, I just saw it.
So, yeah, the days are Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. So I could ask them about a Friday and make it an exploration, but then they would have to get there, they'd have to transportation. Yeah.
Thinking Saturday.
I'm thinking Saturday, and we provide donuts, so I mean,
Okay.
so that's what I would be working into.
So, for sixth and eighth grade, we're gonna need to start planning our end of the year party. So there's that, and then also, with sixth grade, we have a somewhat vibrant community where we all kind of chat on,
A what?
what is that vibrant?
She said. I'm like. Well, it's okay.
What did you think I said? What? Oh, right. So there's like a lot of parents signed up, and so we are on WhatsApp.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so, and sometimes we'll have like last minute gets together, so that's not really quite at school, it is school associated, but it's more like last minute stuff kind of. So not exactly planned, but then we do get ideas from each other, when people have ideas. So someone from eighth grade was mentioning, doing something with that grade, so we're in the midst of things.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, thank you.
Fifth grade, when I sent out the reminder about Teaspoon, I set a date for March 8th. I think we're gonna meet in the afternoon at Udall, just something simple to get people together because people have been asking and holidays and then breaks and just things kept popping up that I couldn't schedule anything in January, and now it's February and radio is coming up. Yeah, so March 8th.
Oh, that's great.
Especially because they have that big, huge playground, so then young kids can play. I thought if you sit there, they can bring things and go play at the fields. It's right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe I'll do the group.
Sure.
You got, no, I don't know if Rebecca's, she's our.
She wasn't able to make it today.
Okay, so I'm on the little committee of senior parents who are kind of working on grad night, and I guess I could say various things, but I think the main announcement would be to just give you a heads up that will be, there's a tradition at TGS, for those of you who may not have been aware of already, that parents from younger classes volunteer to be chaperones at grad night. You can, even though want their parents, but And so like 3 years ago, I think it was, I did the grad night volunteering for the seniors that year. And so there will be a call saying, anybody want to sign up for grad night, and just pay it forward if you can. And
I did it last year.
yeah, it's fun, and you can do shifts, so you're not like
All night.
it's in the early morning, it's an all-morning thing, but anyway, so I just wanted to throw that out there, but we're gonna send out a letter soon, I think, to Allison's, just on the general grad night thing and I think that's probably just going to the senior families, but I don't think there's anything else that needs to be said here about it, unless somebody has a question.
Well, I do, but I think you might want to sign up for that. That does sound fun. I have wanted to, but I can't stay up that late.
Signing your head.
That's earlier, like just in the evening, there's maybe one shift in dinner, basically.
Yeah, my question is that I'm wondering, sorry, this kind of is a little bit off base, but it does have to do with like a graduation, with 8th grade graduation. Is there anything I'm supposed to do? I have not been here for an 8th grade before, so is the parent supposed to? No, for their promotion? Okay. Just wanted to-
There's not an grade level that's outside of what this.
Zach states that Fernanda is the arts chair and she says to be on the lookout for sign up genius volunteer opportunities for Mary Poppins coming up.
All right, so, and yes, Mary Poppins is coming up in March 19, 2021, if I have those dates correctly. And there will be a sign up to help with intermission, intermission treats and manning that table. Yes, yes.
So coming back to the
Yes.
graduation, when is it and what is needed?
Okay, I should know, I hope staff back up, because our graduation day is a Friday, but I'm trying to the date. And what it is we have the graduation ceremony here on campus, for upper school. Yeah, the 12th grade graduation, and then afterwards, my recollection is a bus comes and the students go straight on the bus to grad night, and it's a surprise, so we're planning different things, and they're not supposed to know where they're going. And it lasts all night, so they come back, I think they come back to TGS and have a breakfast. There are places where it's the situation for most of the early wee hours has an opportunity of places where people can sit down and fall asleep if they need to. So there's some quiet space, there's like so there's lots of those activities been wanted, but there's also downtime space and, people can crash in chairs and, comfy chairs. I don't know, I'm trying to maintain the end rate.
We don't want to record it, any, no secrets.
And, the chaperones I did it a year when it wasn't at a sort of, more, I'm just gonna say, more private facility, which is where it's gonna be. So we had it at somebody's house, the year I was chaperone. And then it's a little crazy making because they had it was a big house, it was gorgeous. Cool, different spaces to be around. That meant as chaperones, you could intrusive, it's all. We were in the corner lounging and hanging out with the other chaperones, but you want to keep your eye on maybe people drinking, breaking rules, that kind of thing. People not just leaving, they're supposed to stay there. So the nice thing, I'll drop this hint, is that the place that's going to be, the 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. or whatever it is a private facility where there will be staff people there.
Oh.
And so the chaperones don't quite have as much weight in that context as they did, let's say, when we did this house, where we were just by ourselves in this very large, multi-level, lots of different spaces. You didn't really it's not part of the job.
No, I did it scared my midnight call roadies. And the staff were so impressed with the kids, like they kept saying, oh my gosh, these kids are so well behaved. They're really polite. I'm like, how you do? Like they were, it's no big deal at all, it's just kind of fun for them. It wasn't a big sleeping around.
It's not driving the keys or anything like that.
No, the bus. That's what I was doing. And few shifts, And it's just keeping an eye on it, it's a little bit, and you know, TGS was, the school does not have any responsibility legally or otherwise over what happens at grad night. It's like a parent event. We do have something away with the sign. But part of this is, we don't have, there's no responsibility to staff or any school related to grad night. So we we contract the bus and then do that. But it's pretty, I mean, it's not, they're TGS kids, so you're not, it's like.
Well, the thing about the size of the graduating class, it's not even an unmanageable number of people.
Yeah.
I recommend anybody who's in the undergrades to sign up. It's an amazing night. It was beautiful. I got to watch. I went to maybe 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. And I loved it.
The other tradition, for those of you who don't know, is we coordinate, each of the kids getting a bundle of letters from their families. And it's so cute. It's really beautiful. They get to open up a bundle of letters wishing them well. It's very sweet. Well, I think we're probably gonna open up the bundle here in the morning at TGS rather than physically here, rather than these other spaces, but that's kind of the end of the night is that moment. And we do a lot of work to make sure every kid gets letters. So it's really good fun. Thank you.
So look for a sign up genius will come out later this spring for the grad night signups for non-senior parents. Look for a sign up genius. Especially if your kids are involved in the theater, there will be a sign up genius to help with intermission coming out in the next few weeks. 5th grade is having a March 8th event. 8th grade is working on organizing something. Have I got everything that's coming up? Just a quick nutshell there.
And the 11th grade.
And the 11th grade, we don't have it set yet, but watch for something if you're at 11th. Have we missed anybody else online who wants to share as far as class reps or committee coordinators? Okay. And then the quick report from Rebecca about the winter formal was simply that it was an under the sea theme. They had a great turnout. It was 138 students, which is actually, I think, more than we've had in past years. So it was a really great turnout. And if anybody's interested in helping with that next year, I believe that will be under development, but I believe that Rebecca is going to go ahead and run that again. So feel free to reach out to Rebecca if you're interested in that. All right, have I missed anyone or anything before we close out me chatting and to Andre and Alicia? Anybody online have any questions or anything that we need to address? All right. Well, I'm going to hand it over to Andre and Alicia so that they can talk about the news and events section in the family portal. You've been seeing what's in the newsletter mentioned, and I'm going to let them take it from here. Hopefully we can share the screen so the folks on Zoom can also see, because I believe that Andre is going to do a little demonstration of how to get in there and what to look for.
Hi, so I'm Alicia. This is something Andre and I put together in the fall because the plan or the sort of the right way to do things now with parent communication is to sort of make things as easy for you to find it in 1 or 2 places as possible. So one of the places is the newsletter and the other place is the news and events section in the portal. And so Andre showed this a bit in the fall, and then we put some screenshots in the newsletter back in December, but we found that there's people who don't know about it. And also there's a lot of features that a lot of people aren't using. So we thought it would be fun just to show you some of the features so that everybody can get involved. And things like setting alarms for yourself for deadlines. And so one of my coworkers is also a parent, and she's been doing that. She says it's great. She's like, oh, I have to pay for the PSAT. Puts it in her calendar. So Andre can show you that it works, and I think it is a helpful thing.
I just have to sit it in. I'm really impressed with my balance. You're gonna be able to see the password manager.
Right here.
Oh, it's okay, it's just typing, it's good, no, it's okay, no, it's okay.
I'm happy to
Oh, what was that? Where? Oh, there we go, oh, yeah, yes. These things are all something. All right, so all of the features you will see are really just based on your questions and feedback and your help. I did add a few things being a parent of seventh grader. You know, I'm one of those parents that needs to know if you're playing in Morena or against Morena. So I'm trying to personalize it. Well, I guess maybe. Okay. So when you sign in on the left-hand side, there's news and events, and everything is really personalized for the student. And in the preview in November, somebody asked, how can we save our preferences? And I didn't even think of that. So that was a brilliant idea. Yes, you can now. Thanks for that suggestion. But when you sign in, the full news view will be personalized for your student. And that's what this icon here is. If I were to click, so this personalizes news for 12th grade. So it kind of quiets the noise that's not related for 12th grade. You will still see all school events, but if there is a specific 6th grade announcement or middle school announcement, you will still see that on the bottom of the news event list feed, but not on the top, just to help you find out if that game is Morena or against Morena. But if you prefer to see things without that personalization, you just click on this little menu and then it's just going to show you everything in the list. And yes, this will now, I wish I knew who suggested that, but a brilliant idea and now so yes, so you will remember those settings. The view here is what I call compressed view. If you click on this, it will expand the news. So again, I tried to make this like just one line news event. The bolding here, it's not something we do. The app does that automatically. So if you notice things are highlighted in maybe a weird way, just send me or Alicia an email and I'll try to fix it. But that was again just to help you scan the news real quick. If you toggle this menu, it will show everything, the whole news announcement. And I feel a little silly explaining some of this stuff, but all of these things you can just sign in and click around. Hopefully it's intuitive enough. One of the things we added was print preview. So if you click on the print and you just want to print all the news, you can. If you like to keep track of news that you've read, you can check this little box here. So next time when you sign in, you will quickly see what you need to catch up with. There's different filters and views here. Just feel free to experiment. You can search here, again, any news event. So if I were to type here, family association, my balancing skill with a keyboard, it might fail. But if you type anything here, you will find the news event through the whole, for the whole year. So you don't have to scroll and look, and which of course you can. You can also collapse these news by week if you like. So that's the news and announcements. There are filters. When I did this in December, I always feel like we should share something that's not really obvious. So I had like a little Easter egg in here to show you another preview. But I forgot where I hid it. Everything that we have talked about is in this help menu, except that Easter egg that you remember. Plus minus, yes. If you like to make font big smaller, you can do that here. I like a little. School calendars, I know this is not part of news and events, but again, just as a parent who's wondering who and where are we playing. You can filter the events. This comes just from the two calendars, so the app tries to filter by the keyword and organize things. And if anything is looking strange or not correct, just let me and Alicia know. It's not the calendar issue, it's our app is trying to like filter things in a smart way. So one thing that we often see on the calendar is the cycle days, day 1, day 2, day 4, which is very helpful. But if you just want to stay on top of things and you don't necessarily want to know about the cycle days, so you can hide them. Same for these events here. Athletics, it will just show athletics. And you can see this week, next week, I think I added no school, very important. But kids, they want to know. So there's no school days this week. It's something next week.
Andre, can I say, I really appreciated this because if you want to know like what college is visiting and what game is happening and when the band trip is, like it's all on one calendar here, if you have all selected, which is a lot easier than going to find separately the athletics calendar and the college counts, you know, and all that. So thank you.
And you can customize this view just like news. So if you like to follow athletics and school events, you can select these two and you will remember that setting for the next time. Or family association events. Let's see if that works. No, I think I'm filtering on the keyword FA and family association is fully spelled out, so I'll have to fix that. And then you can see all events that should give you all events for the coming month or 2. You can scroll down. There's these different things here, so let me just go into athletics, if I were athletics. If there is a game and the address it's entered, it will give us directions, so you can click on that. So here, you can set a reminder, that's what these little bells are, and the system will send you an email reminder if you prefer that, or you can add it to your calendar. If you go into news, these little buttons here will do the same. So this little bell icon will set a reminder and send you an email, and this will add it to your calendar if you like. Oh, the cycle calendar, as you know, we have days 1, 2, 3, 4. You have to look at the 2 calendars really to find out the student schedule. So this is not a new feature. It's been weekly schedule. It's been here for a long time. But if you have a 7th grader, and you know, cycle days are hard to sometimes figure out. So there's a personalized weekly student schedule. You can see what I call Earth schedule. It just gives you Monday, Tuesday, dates, times, what you have. It's color coded. And this is the only thing I added. It's like you can see multiple weeks ahead of time. So if you want to know next week what my schedule is, you can print it here. I think that's, I don't know if I forgot any features. So I remember that Easter egg.
Thanks, Andre. You did an amazing job. So everything, when I put the announcements and events in the newsletter, I also put them in this portal. The difference might be that in the newsletter, you will see that I run things multiple weeks. And I try to move them down, like if something new comes up, then I always, if it's, you know, sign up for Minds Alive, that may be on there for weeks. The difference is here, it's not gonna be front and center, but there is an ongoing tab. So if you go to ongoing, you can find old things. You can also, as Andre said, look through the previous weeks. So that's the primary difference between what you'll see in the newsletter and what you'll see here.
I like it in the newsletter. I'm first in plans on Sunday, so I go straight to that and I'm like, think, and it's all right there in my calendar.
Right.
So I think it's user friendly.
Good, so thank you. So again, 2 different ways you can look at it. Because you can't do things like set alarms from the newsletter, so, but otherwise, they're pretty similar.
Would Greg's parties go into that?
And it would just indicate the grade, so it would just be a 6th grade, it's in the app. I can just pick 6th grade, and it would only be visible to those, you know, the thumbs, so yes. And I try to do that, so basically anything that I see come through or that goes in the newsletter, I try to put in there to all applicable.
So Sally, when you get your 8th grade event sent, we can put that in the parent section of the newsletter, and then Alicia will automatically have it in here too.
And it will be on the top of the news for 8th grade parents. So you will see that 8th grade news item in the news app at the top.
And does everybody know the family portal, like how you actually click into the family portal? Because I know for some people, that still feels a little bit foreign. They don't necessarily realize that they can go in and look at their kids' grades and their kids' schedules and now all of this cool stuff and go into the handbook and that sort of thing. Some people, I know that information is given at the beginning of the year, but I know that, in past years, we've had people halfway through the year go, I can look at my kids' grades. It's because you're inundated with so much at the beginning of the year and it doesn't register and then later on you hear it again. So, for anybody who's online, if you're not sure about where that is, the family portal, there's a family portal button right on the main page of the Gregory School website. And that's probably the quickest and easiest way to find it if you don't have it set up somewhere else on computer.
And it's up in the top right corner. If you're on, I assume on the phone too, but on the screen, it's up the top right corner, and you'll see the school store and the family association and the family portal.
And it's not just news and grades, you can subscribe to receive news and grades, but it will give you, we have added some functions, like it will give you a list of missing assignments, family association school directory, Friday exploration rubrics and analytics on attendance and what are students' interests, some graphs and things, so.
There's a lot in
It's everything.
And I think on the phone, it's not actually up in the right-hand side. I think it's.
At the bottom?
At the bottom.
I was thinking,
Yeah,
yeah,
there's
that's exactly right.
Yeah.
Amira asks, does the schedule reflect Friday explorations once the kids sign up in the portal?
Yes, it's only academic schedule, not Friday explorations, but the Friday exploration rubrics will reflect all of their signups and classes. And that's on the landing page of the family portal. We will see all the grades, and then it's going to be a tab for Friday explorations. And that's where once there's some.
Did that answer your question, Mira?
Yes.
This might also tie into the listserv. What can we send and what can't we?
As far as the listserv,
Yeah.
yeah, I think we'll have a conversation with the class reps about that. And if
Okay.
there's further clarification, then I'll check in with Alicia to get that.
Okay, sounds good.
We could add Friday schedule. I just realized now that parent has. If somebody could email me that, we'd love to add. We can add that schedule, Friday exploration schedule to academic schedule.
Yeah, good job, guys.
Thank you. I have an 11th grader and she won't tell me even when she gets, I don't know. What did you do today? I don't know.
I can't remember, right? It all fell.
Okay, any other questions?
Thank you, would love to see Friday.
I'll email you on that.
Yeah.
You just emailed it, perfect, thank you. All right. Thank you so much. All right, and last but not least, sir.
How's everybody doing? Good, good. I wish I could say the same. So, like, this stomach thing going on, I was it's the same. I appreciate the empathy, really. I had a late board meeting in here and then ran home. I didn't eat before the board meeting, so I'm really sharing way too much info. Some of you have seen my body language over the last hour, so ate some late night chicken tinga. That is just. Don't want to listen. Hear me out. That's what you see in my body language. This has been a great meeting. Processing quite literally. Since we've been back, talk about a few of the highlights since we have returned. And one of the things I want to get ahead of as well. So I've been sitting with a safety and security letter from mid-January. And the reason why I'm sitting with it is because it's not in response to anything. I want to remind you it. So even what you heard from Andre and Alicia all comes from parent feedback. Parent feedback from the beginning of the year, and as you heard from previous years, about mainly the customer service. How do I get information? How do I access?
Can't see.
They want to know there's a little too many times.
That's good. Thank you.
I just don't think. So, it's not in response to anything, and as you were just hearing from Andre and from Alicia, feedback is everything. Right, so we got feedback from the ISAS accreditation visit when they came and poked around and frankly did an audit of our school community. And one of the things that they said was, you do a great job. Protocol, people know what to do, when to do it, and how to be alerted. But with regards to some of your security features, you need to up the ante. Internal cameras, guard shack protocols. And so instead of waiting for this report to be published, which is going to happen later in the spring, we started to move forward with some of these things, right? We're like, no, we don't wait on safety and security. So we're doing our emergency management plan, and some of the updates that have been going on is what is in this safety and security letter that I plan on sending shortly. The work is just giving us a few different things that have happened, and I did not want parents to think that anything is going on this campus, other than us ensuring that we're keeping all of the 368 beautiful souls that you have entrusted us with safe. Right? So involved cameras. Andre not only works as our director of technology, improving the customer service, but you can see your own rules installing cameras. And I'm not saying that to be funny. Andre works with our ground staff and with our security team to make sure that we are positioning things in the right places. He's also working with our administrative staff as we enhance our lockdown procedures. We're going to have some push buttons for our lockdown so that not only can Joyce, Maria, and Mitch in the library secure their areas, but they can alert the greater community through text messages, and we'll explain that in the letter as well. Our guard check has updated their safety protocols. Even next year, as it relates to your placard, you're going to have to receive. You're going to have to give us some information in order to receive a placard. So we are really just trying to ensure that we keep our community safe. So that letter will be coming out shortly. Now that I have a chance to get in front of you, I'd rather say that than opposed to just send you something without any context being given behind. This is a safe space. We're just ensuring that it continues. So that's one thing. Another great thing that has taken place is Rosetta Lee came to visit us. Rosetta Lee is a good friend of mine who I've known over 20 plus years. She's a practitioner who has worked in over 1,500 schools across this globe, working to ensure that our students have inclusive space. So she came to work with our faculty with a required professional development. Don't worry, this was not me top-downing. They actually asked for this as well. They wanted to be trained in more areas of DEIB work, and this was one of our ways of attempting that. So we had required professional development, so all of our faculty Thursday, February 5th, and it was well attended. Everybody was there, and she talked about inclusive classrooms. That very next day, she worked with your students in middle school for a presentation, talking about intent and impact, also talking about no joke zones and pump-ups. And then for our other schoolers right after that, she talked about allyship, allyship, identification, and owning your own story. So not letting others author your journey, how you own your own story. From students, it seemed to be responsive and they enjoyed it, and our faculty definitely appreciated every bit of it. So it's one of the other things marching forward. There's been a lot going on, so I'm probably going to forget some things as well. It is re-enrollment time, y'all. And I say this not with any level of intimidation. I'm just a very transparent person. We are no longer a best kept secret in Tucson. The admissions process is booming. Booming. Please get your re-enrollment. That allows us to nurture the families who are waiting for this opportunity. If there are certain conversations, and I know I have folks online, so that's why I'm saying this loud and proud. If there are certain conversations we need to have about next year, please reach out to your division heads, reach out to me. We want to have those conversations with you to talk about the future. We're initiating some of those conversations as well, but please, please, please get your re-enrollment in so that we can do right by the families who are so interested in being part of this school community. So I'd be remiss if I didn't say that, Mary, was that right on time?
Thank you.
Gotcha. And then the customer service piece with regards to the portal. I'm getting in the calendar soon, but the portal truly is a way for you all to have a pulse on this school community. We try as best as possible to be transparent, communicative, and give you every bit of what you need from a customer service standpoint. So please utilize the portal. Andre is responsive to feedback. Alicia's been doing a phenomenal job of updating our communication streamline platforms. The newsletter has over a 75% click rate. Right? And the people are staying on the page and going to the different links, and we can track these analytics. So we're trying to make sure that we are giving you what you want. So please utilize those tools because it's in response to what we have heard. Is that all for updates? Am I missing anything, y'all? Oh, athletics, goodness gracious, athletics, middle school won the championship, that is something to be celebrated, our middle school Stockton. Girls basketball is in a playing game tomorrow, which is huge. If you have been following girls basketball, Coach Pollard has been doing a phenomenal job of growing that program to the point where the camaraderie and the competitiveness has reached a level where they are in the tourney. And Angela's done a phenomenal job of making sure that families can be a part of this process. She's created a way for families to be a part of the game and travel with the team as well. So way to go. And that's also a bit of being a part of a small school community where we can do things like that as far as investing and being very intentional about the level of community that we're trying to develop. So thank you for that. Boys basketball, we are knocking on wood and crossing our fingers for a three-peat here. So we'll see. And then in the performing arts as well, our kiddos are doing phenomenal. Whether it's Joshua, whether it's Oliver, whether it's Desiree, whether it's all of our thespians who just came back from Prescott. I think that's
Flagstaff.
Flagstaff. I'm sorry, I'm still learning. Maybe she's still very here. Almost had it. Next time I'll do better. But yeah, things are going to keep well. I'm sorry if I'm missing anything. Like I said, a little bit not under the weather, but processing and lines in a few places. So let's get to the calendar. When we release the calendar to you, it's for major dates. It's for you to be able to appropriately plot and plan when things are going to be different. Whether that's school being out of session, whether that's an augmented day, whether that's parent-teacher conferences, or whether that's an acknowledgement of a holiday that we have off. That's not to say when we release these major dates, that is our entirety of the calendar. I want to be very clear about that. Lunar holidays, some of the other holidays weren't represented because we don't take time off for that. And there's no alternative schedule. That's not to say that those things will not be represented in our calendar when it is fully published. So I just want to make sure I started there. And then there are some natural changes that have taken place. When we were together in November, we heard loud and clear about our seniors and about their trip as it relates to interim. So we took that information back to the folks who run that trip, and they said, you know what? Okay, we hear you, and we still want to run the trip. It's a great opportunity for team building and to have these kids have a moment together because their spring is so fragmented. And in thinking about the movement to the spring, there's so much taking place. As I just talked about winter sports, boys basketball will be competing for the championship, hopefully for a long time to come. Girls basketball, hopefully moving in that same vein as well. AP assessments get ready to get started and kids are preparing for that piece as well. So there's a lot baked into the early spring. So that team decided that not only do they want to keep it in the fall, but they were going to augment it because what they want families to have the opportunity to do is utilize that with the college process. So there is I'm going to get big. So the senior trip is from October 9th to October 12th. That is a Friday through a Monday, which allows families that whole entire interim week, senior families, that whole entire interim week to do college visits or tune into the college process very early in the season, for lack of better words. Our college counselor is going to have programming that week. So should you be local, you're able to, your kiddo has the opportunity to engage to still go through their college process to get the things that they need. So that was done that decision was done very intentionally, one off of the feedback, two off of the need for our seniors to bond and to get the work done in order to be ready for the college process. Another change that naturally happened as we invested in our athletic program and looked to be more competitive in the soccer season was the move from soccer being in the fall to that of the winter. With that came the shift of our homecoming as well. We think that homecoming is going to be even more grandiose than what it was previously, as far as folks being able to come back. In January, we have a lot of the kids, young adults, still here, and alumni still here from visiting over the holidays. Colleges are still off because they give those kids 2 months as opposed to 3 weeks. So we're hopeful to get some great energy from our young alums and from our alumni around that time. And from a sports perspective, we have a variety going. We have basketball that's going to be taking place, and then we have some soccer that's going to be taking place as well. So homecoming is going to shift. We're still going to have pep rallies. We're still going to keep this place alive and rocking in the fall. It's not that the fall is going to be a doldrum. We will have pep rallies. We will have spirit week. We're still going to be alive and wild on this campus as it relates to just our sense of community. But those, I think, are the two biggest changes as it relates to the calendar that we want you to be aware of. Everything else is pretty much static and the same. Somebody referenced graduation, always that first Friday before Memorial Day.
Excellent. If graduation next year is on Wednesday.
On Wednesday.
On Wednesday.
Thank you. Thanks for pushing through while you don't feel so great.
Everything would be out.
All right. Well, thank you so much for everybody for coming, for our guest speakers. I want to remind you that next month our meeting is on the 11th as well, but it will be at 6 p.m. on Zoom. It will not be in person. So that will be the evening now. If anybody has any questions, anything that occurs to you after you leave here, always feel free to email us at fa@gregoryschool.org and we will be glad to get answers for you. And thank you for everyone online and Zach for not feeling well and being here as well. Thank you.
Else.